Every day is a gift, and the way you start it will often determine how you finish it. The first moments after you wake up are like planting seeds in the soil of your mind. If you start your day with worry, negativity, and doubt, you're planting weeds that will choke your joy. But if you start with gratitude, faith, and expectation, you're planting seeds of peace, strength, and victory. When you wake up in the morning, you have a choice. You can replay yesterday's disappointments, or you can press forward into today's opportunities. You can let the voices of fear speak louder, or you can tune your heart to the voice of hope. What you do in those first minutes is powerful. It sets the tone for everything that follows. If you'll begin each day by filling your heart with the right thoughts, you'll walk through your day with the confidence that nothing can shake. Start by giving thanks for the blessings you already have. It's amazing how gratitude can open the door for more favor in your life. Take a moment to speak life over yourself. Declare that you are strong, that you are capable, that today will be a good day. You may not feel it at first, but your words have creative power. Some mornings you may not feel like smiling. You may not feel like getting up. But that's when habits become your anchor. You don't wait until you feel motivated. You act on what you know brings life. Reading something that inspires you, speaking words that lift you up, or simply sitting in quiet reflection. These simple habits can shift your entire perspective. Don't underestimate the small decisions you make in the morning. Those first choices are like setting the compass for your entire day. If you set it toward hope, kindness, and determination, you're going to arrive at a better destination than if you set it toward doubt, bitterness, or fear. Remember, the morning is your opportunity to tell the day how it will go, not the other way around. Step into it with faith, gratitude, and purpose, and you'll see how those small habits can lead to extraordinary results. When you wake up in the morning, you are standing at the doorway of a brand new day, a day that has never existed before, a day filled with potential, opportunities, and blessings waiting to be discovered. The first thoughts you choose to embrace in those moments are like the first strokes on the canvas of your day. If you choose to dwell on worries, replay yesterday's frustrations, or anticipate problems that may never come, you're starting your day with colors that are dull and heavy. But if you choose gratitude, hope, and faith, you're beginning with bright, vibrant colors that will paint your entire day in a different light. You may think that those first thoughts don't matter much, but they do. Your mind is most impressionable in the moments after you wake up. It's like freshly turned soil ready to receive. Whatever you plant in that soil will grow throughout the hours ahead. Plant doubt, and it will sprout into fear that follows you through your day. Plant gratitude, and it will blossom into joy that sustains you through challenges. That's why the very first thing you focus on is so important. When you open your eyes, before you reach for your phone or start thinking about all you have to do, take a deep breath and give thanks. It might be something simple, thankful for a new day, for your health, for the people you love, for another chance to move forward. Gratitude shifts your perspective and opens your heart to see the good that is already around you. It's easy to wake up and let your mind wander to what's missing or what went wrong yesterday. But each new day is a reset button. It's a chance to begin again. What happened yesterday doesn't have to dictate today. That argument you had, that setback you faced, that disappointment you felt, it's behind you. This morning is a fresh opportunity to choose joy on purpose. Hope works the same way. When you wake up expecting good things to happen, you begin to notice them. Expectancy changes how you walk, how you talk, how you see the world. If you expect another day of the same struggles, that's often what you'll find. But if you expect blessings, open doors, and moments of favor, you'll start recognizing them even in unexpected places. Faith is your anchor in this. Choosing faith in the morning means believing that the day ahead is not random, that there is purpose in your steps, and that no matter what challenges you face, you have what it takes to overcome them. Faith reminds you that you are not alone, that even in difficulties, there's a way through. When you choose faith early in the day, it steadies you. It's like setting the thermostat for your heart. You decide the temperature, and your circumstances adjust around it. Imagine waking up and immediately thinking, the day is going to be a great day. At first, it might feel strange, especially if life hasn't been easy. But those words are seeds. Speak them often enough, and your mind will begin to look for evidence to support them. Your attitude will shift. You'll find yourself responding differently to challenges, noticing small victories, and feeling a quiet strength that wasn't there before. The power lies in the choice. No one else can choose your first thoughts for you. You might have a tough schedule ahead, but you can still decide to meet it with a grateful heart. You might not know how a problem will be solved, but you can still choose to believe that solutions will come. The moment your eyes open, you have the power to set the direction of your day. Think about it like steering a ship. A small turn of the wheel in the morning can change your entire course by evening. If you steer toward gratitude, you'll arrive in a place of peace. If you steer toward hope, you'll end the day feeling uplifted. If you steer toward faith, you'll finish stronger than you started. That's why the first moments matter so much. They are not just a routine, they are a foundation. You wouldn't build a house on a shaky foundation and expect it to stand. In the same way, you can't build a day of peace and success on a morning filled with worry and negativity. You have to lay the right foundation. First, start with gratitude. Layer it with hope. Seal it with faith. When you do that consistently, you'll notice a change not only in how your day unfolds, but in how your life feels. People around you will see it too. They'll notice your calm when others are stressed, your optimism when others are complaining, your ability to find light in dark places. That's the ripple effect of choosing the right thoughts first thing in the morning. The world will try to set your mood for you. Social media, news, emails, and other people's demands will all compete for your attention. If you let them in before you've anchored yourself in gratitude, hope, and faith, you're handing over control of your day. But if you take even a few moments to center your mind and heart first, you'll walk into the day on your terms. You'll be less reactive and more intentional. Choosing gratitude, hope, and faith in the morning doesn't mean you'll avoid challenges, but it does mean you'll be equipped to face them with strength and perspective. A negative morning sets you up to be drained before the day even starts. A positive morning grounded in these choices sets you up to overcome. It's not about ignoring reality. It's about choosing the reality you want to magnify. When you magnify gratitude, you notice more to be thankful for. When you magnify hope, you see possibilities where others see problems. When you magnify faith, you feel guided and supported even when the way ahead isn't clear. Every morning you're given a blank page. What you write in those first few lines influences the rest of the story for that day. So, write words of life, write words of strength. Write words that lift you higher. And remember, it's not just a morning habit. It's a life habit that can change everything. There will be mornings when you wake up feeling tired, unmotivated, or weighed down by the challenges ahead. That's when morning habits become more than a routine. They become your anchor. Motivation is wonderful, but it's not something you can rely on every single day. It comes and goes like the weather. Some mornings you'll feel ready to conquer the world, but other mornings you might feel like staying under the covers. That's why it's so important to build small, consistent habits that you follow whether you feel like it or not. When you have the right habits in place, you don't have to depend on fleeting emotions to set your day in motion. You act because you've made it part of who you are. A habit works like muscle memory for your mind and spirit. You don't need to have a long list of complicated morning rituals. Even a few intentional actions done consistently can transform your day. For example, taking a moment to speak positive declarations over yourself every morning, regardless of how you feel, can slowly rewire your mindset. Reading or listening to something uplifting before you let the world's noise in can shift your perspective. Spending a couple of minutes in quiet reflection or prayer can calm your heart before the demands of the day begin. These are not just tasks on a checklist, they are daily investments into your mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. The beauty of habits is that they work even on your hardest days. Think of them like the roots of a tree. A tree doesn't grow strong roots only on sunny days. The roots are there in every season, keeping it anchored when the wind blows or the storms come. In the same way, Your morning habits keep you grounded when life feels unpredictable. You might be facing stress at work, family challenges, or personal struggles, but those steady, life-giving habits can keep you from being swept away by negativity. It's easy to underestimate the impact of something so small. You might think, what difference does it make if I say a few positive words in the morning or read a page from an inspiring book? But over time, those small actions compound. They start to shape your identity. They shift how you see yourself and the world around you. They create a default mode for your mind that leans toward hope rather than despair, toward solutions rather than problems. On days when you feel strong, your habits will reinforce that strength. On days when you feel weak, your habits will carry you until you find your footing again. The most important thing is consistency. You don't develop life-changing habits by doing them once or twice. You build them by showing up day after day. At first, it might take discipline. You may have to remind yourself to follow through. But eventually, these actions become as natural as brushing your teeth. You'll wake up and your mind will already know the rhythm. Speak words of life, fill yourself with inspiration, focus your heart. That's the power of training yourself in the right direction. Some people wait until they feel inspired before they act. The problem is that waiting can keep you stuck. Inspiration is wonderful, but it's not a reliable driver of progress. Action, on the other hand, creates momentum, and momentum often brings inspiration along with it. When you choose to follow your morning habits, even without the spark of motivation, you're building resilience. You're proving to yourself that you can move forward even when you don't feel like it. That's a powerful confidence booster. Over time, your habits will start to spill over into other parts of your life. You'll notice that because you start your mornings intentionally, you're more focused at work, more patient with people, and more resilient when things don't go as planned. You're no longer reacting to your environment. You're shaping it from the moment you wake up. Life will always have ups and downs, but when you have habits that lift you, you can navigate those changes with grace. It's not about pretending that difficulties don't exist. It's about facing them from a place of strength rather than weakness. Your habits are like tools in your hand. You might not need every tool every day, but when the need arises, you'll be glad they're there. That's why you don't wait until the storm hits to build the habit. You build it in the calm, so it's ready for the storm. The truth is, habits don't just shape your mornings, they shape your life. The choices you make when you first wake up set in motion a chain reaction that influences your mood, your mindset, and your actions for the rest of the day. If you want to live a life filled with purpose, joy, and peace, start by creating mornings that reflect those values. You don't need perfection. There will be days when your habits are shorter, days when you miss a step, days when life interrupts your rhythm. That's okay. What matters is that you keep coming back. The consistency is what transforms you, not the flawless execution. One day you'll look back and realize that the reason you've been able to stay strong through challenges isn't because you always felt ready for them. It's because you built a foundation that could hold you. Your morning habits will be part of that foundation. They'll be the quiet, steady force that's been carrying you all along. Even if no one else sees the effort you put in every morning, you'll know the difference it's making. So keep showing up for yourself every single day. Let your habits be your anchor, your guide, and your springboard into the day. Over time, you'll see that they've done more than just shape your mornings. They've shaped the person you've become. Your words and thoughts in the morning are like seeds, and whatever you plant will grow throughout the day. Just as a farmer chooses carefully what to sow in the ground because he knows it will determine his harvest, you must choose carefully what you allow into your mind and heart at the start of each day. If you wake up and immediately start complaining, focusing on problems, or expecting the worst, you are planting seeds of discouragement, and they will produce a harvest of frustration, stress, and negativity. But if you begin the day by speaking life over yourself, by choosing thoughts of hope, strength, and gratitude, you are planting seeds that will grow into peace, joy, and success. The morning is the most powerful time to set this in motion because your mind is like fertile soil in those first moments. It hasn't yet been cluttered with the demands, distractions, and noise of the day. Whatever you plant early has a strong chance of taking root deeply. That's why it's so important to be intentional. Even if you don't feel strong, declare that you are. Even if you can't see the answer yet, declare that solutions are coming. Words have creative power. They shape your attitude, your decisions, and even how you see opportunities. If you keep telling yourself, I can't, it's too hard, or nothing good ever happens to me, those words will guide your actions and limit your potential. But if you speak words like, I am capable, I am blessed, today will bring good things, your mind will begin to align with those statements and look for ways to make them true. The same principle applies to your thoughts. You can't always control what thoughts try to enter your mind, but you can control which ones you dwell on. A thought is like a seed. It needs your attention to grow. If you dwell on worry, it will grow into anxiety. If you dwell on offense, it will grow into bitterness. If you dwell on hope, it will grow into faith. You get to choose which seeds to water. That's why guarding your first thoughts of the day is so important. Before you open your phone, check your emails, or listen to the news. Take time to plant the right seeds. This might mean starting with affirmations, reading something uplifting, or spending a few minutes in reflection. You're deciding in those moments what you want to multiply in your life. It's easy to underestimate the impact of these small seeds. After all, you may not see results immediately. But just like a farmer doesn't expect a seed to turn into a full plant overnight, you shouldn't expect instant transformation. What you plant today will show up in your attitude, your habits, and your relationships over time. Some seeds grow quickly, bringing small bursts of joy or motivation. Others grow slowly but become strong, steady sources of peace and resilience. You have to trust the process and keep planting the right things day after day. It's also important to recognize that not planting anything positive is still planting something by default. If you allow negativity, fear, or doubt to take root simply because you weren't intentional, those seeds will still grow. A garden doesn't stay empty. It will fill up with weeds if you don't care for it. In the same way, your mind will fill with whatever you allow in the morning. Be deliberate about what you choose. This doesn't mean pretending that problems don't exist or ignoring challenges. It means deciding that even in the face of those challenges, you will plant seeds of faith, gratitude, and hope. When you do, you'll notice that you face the same difficulties differently. You'll have more patience, more clarity, and more strength to work through them. People around you might wonder how you stay so calm and positive in tough situations. And the answer will be found in those early choices you make each morning. Another powerful truth about seeds is that they multiply. A single seed can produce a plant that creates many more seeds. In the same way, one good thought in the morning can lead to more good thoughts throughout the day. One positive declaration can lead to better decisions, better interactions, and better opportunities. Your morning mindset doesn't just affect you. It affects how you treat others, how you respond to stress, and how you interpret events. If you start the day believing it will be filled with good things, you're far more likely to notice and appreciate those good things when they appear. You become more grateful, more generous, and more resilient, and that impacts everyone around you. Think of a day when you woke up in a bad mood and let that mood control you. Every small inconvenience probably felt bigger. Every interaction felt more draining. And you might have even created problems that didn't need to exist simply because of the perspective you started with. Now think of a day when you woke up with a positive, hopeful attitude. The same inconveniences might have happened, but they didn't shake you. You handled them with more patience and perspective. The difference was in the seeds you planted that morning. This is why your morning words and thoughts are so powerful. They set the tone for how you experience the day ahead. You don't need hours to do this. Even a few intentional minutes can make a difference. Stand in front of a mirror and speak life into your day. Write down 3 things you're grateful for. Remind yourself of your goals and why you're pursuing them. Visualize yourself handling challenges with grace and strength. These small actions are seeds, and they will bear fruit if you plant them consistently. Over time, this becomes a habit and the results compound. You'll start noticing more opportunities, building stronger relationships, and feeling more peace even when life isn't perfect. You'll become more aware of the weeds, negative thoughts, self-doubt, and fear, and quicker to replace them with something better. Eventually, your mornings will feel less like a struggle and more like a launch pad propelling you into the day with purpose and confidence. Remember, every seed you plant will grow into something. Choose wisely, plant with intention, and watch as those seeds transform not just your mornings, but your entire life.